We are here with an incredible human being. He's been Bowden and Jedi Survivor. He's been Rampart and the Bad Batch, and he's done incredible voice work. We are with Noshir Dalal. How are you today?
I'm great, Colin, man. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You know what? We'll just dive straight into it. Your performance work often blends voice, physicality, and emotion. If you could teach one of your characters a new skill from your real life, what would it be and how would it change their story?
Interesting. Well, it's funny because I think Bode actually encapsulates Bode was full performance capture, right? So we actually did all the motion, all the action and stuff like that. But I'm a former EMT. I do a lot of firearms work. They bring me in video games when they need someone who can do like legit tactical combat.
No.
And I'm a martial artist. So I think if I was going to give those skills to anyone, I'd probably give them to Rampart.
Yeah.
I think it would be really interesting to see a Rampart who is like, sure, he shoots like Wilco, but like you never see him in actual combat. You know, he's just like taking out someone unawares. I think it'd be really interesting and like a real like switch to see like Rampart go like hand to hand and like take out a clone trooper.
I agree with that. Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
No, I agree because in season 3, when kind of near the end, when he's actually with the Bad Batch crew going on, I was waiting for him to like, go and dive in more and do stuff. But then again, it's just like, he's not the guy that's really in action. He's the guy that's like, telling people to go do stuff. So,
and I think that was a really important thing, right? Like, this is the first time, like Rampart chokes on Humble Pie twice when he becomes a prisoner, right? And like he's stripped of all his titles and everything. But then when he's actually in person with the Bad Batch, having to roll with them the way they roll, it becomes very clear he's a pencil pusher. He's a bureaucrat. He's not a man of action unless pushed to desperate measures.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think like he'd never call it respect, but a reluctant respect for what, like they're jumping out of spaceship, like they're doing all kinds of stuff he would never in a million years do willingly. So, I love that disparity.
Yeah, I agree. And my final question is, in Jedi Survivor, if Bode had left a secret message hidden somewhere for Cal Kestis to discover years later, what kind of message would it be, and what would he hope Cal understood from it? Because I feel like he was a very misunderstood character.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's interesting. Like, I get two general responses to people about Bode.
Yeah.
I get Bode. You slapped BD. You pushed your daughter. You did horrible stuff.
Yeah.
And he did do all those things. But the thing I'll say is, like, if you saw a car flying down the road, like in a parking lot, and your daughter was in the way, you would push her as hard as you could to get her out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And they might get hurt in the process, but they won't get killed. You know what I mean? That moment where BD comes in and tries to save Cal, and this is something I wanted to tell in the performance capture, and I'm glad it comes through. Like, Bode is doing the ground and pound, and you see him load up as he sees BD come in, and then he freezes and swats him out of the way.
Yeah.
It's an act of mercy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cruelty, right? Because he could have crushed BD into the ground.
100%.
Or grabbed BD and beaten Cal to death with him. You know what I mean? And he doesn't. I think Bode did a lot of research on Cal ahead of time. Yeah. He knows about his psychometry, right? I think it's one of the reasons Bode's always wearing gloves when he does things. It's one of the reasons he dampens his Jedi powers at all times, because he needs to give Cal no reason to actively use psychometry, right? He needs to have full trust in Bode. Yeah. I think if there was anything, I think it would be in Bode's like cabin. He would play out a moment, like he would actually talk to Cal even though Cal isn't there.
Yeah.
For Cal to find later.
I love the thought that you put into this, like before getting into the role, and it shows in your performance as well.
Thanks,
So
man.
yeah,
Thanks.
dude,
Bode means the world to me. I had to fight really, really hard for him in certain moments to make sure that his story was told the best it could be. Because at least from my point of view, Bode is never a bad person.
Yeah.
He's a good person that's been forced into a terrible position.
Yeah.
And has had to do bad thing after bad thing after bad thing for what he feels is the right cause, which for him is keeping his daughter safe. And I can't think of a more important cause for a father. You know what I mean? But when you do things like that, even if you do them unwillingly, you're cutting your heart into small pieces, you know? And I don't think those parts always grow back. Yeah. So like at a certain point, by the end, he knows he's not the father Kata needs, right? And he's he wants to give that mantle to Cal because he knows he's way too far gone. But he has to know that Cal is willing to go that final step to protect Kata, to do that last committed thing. And he pushes Cal to the breaking point to do it. And I think it breaks his heart to do it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely see it in Cameron's performance and yours, and it's that fine like gray line of, you know, I mean, and actually to me your character's role is very similar to what Anakin was going through in Revenge of the Sith of finding that balance, because if he was trying to do everything he could to save Padme, you were doing everything in your power to save your daughter. So yeah.
And I think it's interesting that, like, you know, if he followed the Jedi Order's tenets the way he was supposed to, well, obviously all of this have happened after 66, right? But he meets Tayala, he falls in love, and now he has this beautiful girl that he loves more than life itself. Like, and none of that would have happened. Like, that joy, it ended in like terrible heartbreak, but like, I think the time and the memories he has of him, Tayala, and Kata as a family is something that he holds more valuable than anything. Yeah. Which is why I think when he tells Cal, like, if you have feelings for Marin, you have to go for it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what are you waiting for? Because he also sees that Cal is turning into a fanatic. You know, he's turning into a zealot, like a soldier of the cause with nothing else. At a certain point, Cal's going to lose vision of what he's fighting for, right? But Marin can give him that. And then the second part of that is also knowing what he has to do. Unfortunately, that also gives him leverage, right? Because hurting Marin can get him to break Cal.
I love your thought process in the role. And now when I play it again, I'm going to see it completely differently. Thank you so much for everything you do. You are an incredible human being and voice actor. And, you know, hopefully in the future, you know, hopefully one day, you know, we go back and see Bode in live action. Maybe,
oh,
you know,
dude, that would be awesome. I better hit the gym and grow like a foot.
Yeah. Oh, and the hair,
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, they're going to have to put a wig on me. I don't think I can live with a mullet. That might be a bit much. Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, thank you so much for everything.
Colin, it was a real pleasure.
Absolute pleasure. May the force be with you always.